Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is Lagavulin 11, coming in at a 46% ABV, 11-year age statement, versus Lagavulin 11 Charred Cask Edition, coming in at a 46% ABV, 11-year age statement. So, I'm a huge fan of Lagavulin, and this, you can call this a celebrity brand, right? Nick Offerman, it's this beautiful marriage of an amazing actor and this beautiful Scotch whiskey. And originally, Lagavulin 11 came out, and he hand-selected these casks to release with this because he was such a huge fan of Lagavulin. He wrote it into his characters. And every year, they've been doing different releases of it. The year prior, in 2021, it was their Guinness cask release, and here in 2022, it was the Charred Oak edition, where this one, they actually do a charred wine cask, which is really changing up what the profile becomes. And because this one is so hard to find, and this one just hit the shelves, I'm curious what the two really next to each other bring differently. So, as always, we're going to be checking out the nose, talking about taste, and then we'll get into the market pricing on these. But, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hang around for a bit, like the video, all that kind of good stuff. Tons of reviews showing up almost daily, like 3 times a week I'm tending to doing things. And the individual reviews for both of these will be linked up above and down below for you to enjoy after this video. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. Surprisingly, color-wise, they are almost identical. If I had to say something, I would say maybe the original 11 is a tinge darker, but it is so darn close. All right, let's go for notes on the original 11. Oh, this is so good. I love the 11 is one of my favorites. Smoky and almost like a almost barbecue-like salty, meaty concept going on here. But once you get digging deep into the glass, you definitely get a little bit of a apple fruit sweetness. But very salty, briny on the front here. Meaty, definitely. This smells like you want a big old piece of meat with it. Nice rare steak, little pepper cracked on top. Oh, it just smells wonderful. And as you keep going back, you get more of that meaty saltiness going on. I love the 11. All right, let's check out the Charred Cask Edition. And see here, for me, it goes a little softer. It doesn't quite have the heavy-handedness of the smoke element, which is definitely not what you're expecting when you think Lagavulin. It's almost a little more developed. It's a little fruity going on here, like a bowl of fruit. Like blackberries, raspberries. You still get a little bit of saltiness going on, a little light wisp of smoke, but comparatively, this has smoky, salty, meaty. And here you get kind of that lighter berries and almost a floralness going on. But you still get just a little bit of salty in there. That fruit sweetness is showing up. And maybe a little wisp of smoke. And maybe just a little bit of that charry element showing up too. Yeah, just a little bit. All right, let's go for taste on the original 11. Oh, I love this. Salty, briny. It is almost savory too. Especially here in the midsection, very savory. Then it goes a little lighter. You get a little bit of that fruit sweetness, almost like a fresh squeezed apple. But the saltiness hangs out from beginning to middle to end. The meatiness in that center, though, that's where this really is showing its legs. Bit of richness going on there. But definitely very savory, salty, meaty. Again, this is the perfect glass for Nick Offerman because, with Ron Swanson, we get that big old steak going on there. This is what you want with that. It complements that in such a unique way. So darn good. I love the pepperiness it brings. I love the saltiness it brings to the table. And it's just got this beautiful deep smoker element to it. Like when I think of a smoked whiskey or something being smoky, this to me might be one of the top smokiness when it comes to that. Because once you get to the 16, it gets a little more, it loses out on some of those characters, that big hefty smoke. And when you get younger, you haven't quite developed those as quite as much. Where the 11 and the 10 years from Lagavulin, those are the sweet spot years. All right, let's check out the Charred Cask. See, on the taste here, you definitely don't get quite as much saltiness, nor do you get much of the smoky. You definitely get the berries, though. This beautiful, almost dark chocolate and this blueberry, raspberry, blackberry combo going on. And it's got a little bit of that salty in there, but definitely nowhere near as strong in the 11. And here in the finish, it does get a little ashiness. It's not bad, but if you're a fan of smoky scotches, that deep, heavy ash might take you for a little bit different path than what you might be expecting normally. I love the kick right up front. Neither of these have a big ABV warmth to them, but they bring these flavors. And again, now putting against each other, completely different flavors. Here you're getting a lot of that smoky element, meaty, manly flavors going on. Here, that wine cask that's been charred is making it a little softer, a little more gentle, but still not losing what makes Lagavulin Lagavulin. I love the berry notes that are coming out. I love the bit of saltiness that still comes through. The wisp of smoke, if anything, I wish that was a little stronger, but I love the salty, ashy berry notes going on here. That bit of richness of chocolates showing up. A little bit of almost a poached pear, and where you get kind of that pear with the pear juice and it's kind of sitting in it. A little bit of vanilla going on here as well. Go back to the original 11 here. Oh, it's so good. The 11 still just brings the action here. It's a punch of the salty, smoky, meaty, these big, rich flavors. But then you almost start getting, as I'm coming back now, I'm getting a little bit almost like a bitterness of a chocolate going on. And it lingers very long here. Like middle to end here, it's still kind of showing up. Beautiful, though. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know in this market price is market price. So, being that the original Nick Offerman came out now almost 3 years ago, it's a hard one to find. If you can find it, MSRP on both of these are right around 80-ish bucks. Obviously, with the market the way it is right now, it's almost impossible. I originally paid $100 for this, and I still think it's worth $100. I paid $86 for this, and I definitely think it's worth $86. Most areas, I'm actually starting to find this locally at like Total Wine now for about $81. I have to be honest. If it was me, this is a tough one, because both of these are so similar, but will take you down different paths as soon as you sip it. I'm going to lean heavily into the 11, but also hug the Charred Cask. This is just so gorgeous on its own. Being that you can't find it at a reasonable price, obviously, this is a great go-to. It is a little different It means that it doesn't have quite that deep smoky element you may be looking for. It does bring those berries to the table though. That bit of ashiness shows up, but if you ever get the opportunity at a reasonable price to pick up an original 11, in my opinion, it's a beautiful buy. 100% worth the $100 I paid for it at the time. This, I would definitely recommend grabbing this at $80, $90. $100, if it gets a little too far out, maybe. I still think it's a great buy. But if you're interested in this one specifically, you need to grab it while you can. The Guinness cask, which is another one we'll be doing an A/B comparison with, you can still find that one around. It's not as common, but that one is, I can still pop it up on a shelf now and again. And that one, it tends to be in that same pricing range between about $85 to $95. And it's another beautiful bottle that I definitely recommend hanging around and seeing some A/B comparisons with that. But for now, I'm going to give it to the original 11. As much as I do love the Charred Cask edition, the original 11 just brings all the flavors that I'm looking for in a smoky scotch. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Lagavulin 11 versus Lagavulin 11 Charred Cask edition. If you have questions about either bottle, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit we should put up against each other, also let me know down below. I love doing these A/B comparisons. It helps me learn and hopefully helps you make a decision at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.